Sweetie, take a seat. I've been watching you lately, staring at that phone like it's going to grant you a wish. And honey, we really need to talk about this. You're waiting for a text, aren't you? A call? A sign of life from that man who told you he's just been so busy? Listen carefully to your auntie, because I'm about to save you months, maybe even years of heartache. I've lived through 51 years of this, and if there is one thing I know for certain, it's this. If he wanted to, he would. Period. I don't care if he's a CEO, a brain surgeon, or the President of the United States. Men find time for what they value. If he's not texting you back, it's not because his battery died or because he's overwhelmed at the office. It's because you are not his priority right now. I know that's a bitter pill to swallow, but I'm here to give you that tough love you need. Today, I'm going to pull the roots out of this problem, so you never have to wonder where you stand again. We're going to stop translating his silence into secretly loves me, but is scared. Honey, stop reading between lines that aren't even there. By the end of this, you'll see exactly why busy is just a polite word for not interested enough. Now, let's dive into the psychology of this, sugar. There's a huge difference between a man who is truly interested and a man who is just finding you convenient. You see, when a man really wants someone, his brain shifts into what I call hunter mode. It's evolutionary psychology 101. And if he sees something, or someone, he truly values, his natural instinct is to pursue, secure, and protect that connection. Listen, honey, that's not how it works when he's just playing the field. And if he's treating you like an app on his phone that he only opens when he's bored or lonely, you aren't his partner. You're his entertainment. I hear girls say all the time, but Auntie, he's just so shy, or he's just really focused on his career right now. Sweetie, stop making excuses for him that he hasn't even made for himself. Think of it like this. If you're hungry, you find a way to eat. If you want to see a movie, you find the time to go. If a man wants to hear your voice, he will find 30 seconds in a 24-hour day to make it happen. When he gives you those tiny breadcrumbs of attention, and you try to bake a whole wedding cake out of them, you're only hurting yourself. He's giving you the bare minimum to keep you on the hook as an option, while you're treating him like your priority. But honey, don't feel too bad about it, because even your auntie had to learn this the hard way. Let me tell you about a guy I knew back in my 20s who taught me this lesson in the most painful way possible. Let me tell you about a guy named Mark back when I was in my early 20s. Oh, honey, I was just like you. And I thought he was the one. He was charming, he was smart, and he was always so incredibly busy with his new law firm. I spent my Friday nights staring at my phone, jumping every time it buzzed, hoping it was a text from him. And when he didn't call, I'd tell myself, oh, he's probably just working late, or he's so stressed he probably just fell asleep. I was basically writing a whole fiction novel to justify his lack of effort. One night, I finally saw the truth. I ran into a mutual friend who mentioned that Mark had been out at a bar with the guys until 3 a.m. the night before, and my heart just sank. He wasn't too tired to go out. He was just too busy to include me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. If he wanted to see me, he would have invited me. If he wanted to hear my voice, he would have called from the taxi. And there is no such thing as being too busy for someone you truly care about. There is only a lack of priority. I remember calling him out on it, and you know what he said? And sweetie, I just forgot to hit send. Honey, that is the oldest lie in the book. A man who is into you doesn't forget you exist for 3 days. He makes sure you know he's thinking about you because he's terrified of losing you. But we love to believe those lies because the truth hurts too much. He's just not that into you. But listen, that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the trauma and scars we think we need to heal for them. Listen, honey, that's not how it works. I see so many of you beautiful, intelligent women turning into amateur psychologists the moment a man stops putting in effort. You start saying, Auntie, you don't understand, he's just an avoidant attachment type. Or, he had such a hard childhood, he's just scared of getting close to someone as amazing as me. Stop right there, sugar. You are a woman looking for a partnership, not a licensed therapist or a non-profit rehab center. You aren't here to do pro bono emotional labor for a man who won't even pick up the phone. It's a dangerous game to fall in love with a man's potential instead of his reality. Yeah, you're dating a version of him that only exists in your imagination, while the real version of him is leaving you on read for 12 hours. If he truly has so much trauma that he can't send a good morning text, then he isn't ready to be in a relationship, and you shouldn't be the one paying the price for his past. When a man tells you he's not ready or it's complicated, believe him the first time. Don't try to be the special one who fixes him. And most of the time, I'm not ready is just code for, I want to keep seeing what else is out there while keeping you as a backup plan. It's harsh, I know. But wouldn't you rather hear the truth from your auntie now than waste 3 more years waiting for a man to heal who was never actually sick, just not that interested? You are holding onto a rotten rope and it's starting to burn your hands. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to let go of that rope and walk away with your dignity intact. So, honey, how do we actually drop that rotten rope without feeling like we're losing a piece of ourselves? First, we have to stop the hope torture. You need to implement my strict 3-day rule. If he hasn't reached out, hasn't made a concrete plan, or hasn't responded to your last message in 3 days, you stop waiting. You don't send a check-in text, and you certainly don't scroll through his Instagram to see if he's active. And stop chasing people who clearly don't want to be found. If that door is closed, it's a sign that it's simply not your house. Listen to your auntie. You need to reclaim the sovereignty over your own life. Instead of checking your phone every 5 minutes, go out and invest that energy into yourself. Focus on the people who already treat you like a priority, not a backup plan. Remember, you are not a relief worker sent here to fix his communication issues or his past traumas. You are here to be loved and valued in the present, not for some potential version of him that might never show up. If you keep holding on to that rotten rope, the only person getting hurt is you. Your hands are bleeding because you're trying to save a connection that he isn't even trying to hold on to. Don't sacrifice your beautiful, vibrant present for a person who refuses to change or grow. It's time to choose yourself, sweetie. And I know it's scary to face the silence, but that silence is actually your freedom. It's the space where you finally get to hear your own voice again. Now, let's wrap this up with the most important lesson of all, the homework I'm giving you to make sure you never settle for breadcrumbs again. Sweetie, we've covered a lot of ground today, and I know some of it was hard to hear. But remember what I told you at the very beginning? If he wanted to, he would, and if he doesn't, then he simply won't. It really is that simple, and you have to stop making it complicated to protect his feelings while you're the one sitting at home hurting. You are not an option to be weighed against someone's busy schedule or a maybe to be decided upon when he's bored. And you are a priority, a treasure, and a whole masterpiece all on your own. Now, here is your auntie's homework for tonight. I want you to put that phone in another room for at least 3 hours. And go for a walk, call a friend who actually answers, or just sit in the silence and realize that the world didn't stop turning just because he didn't text you back. Use that time to remember who you were before you started waiting for him. You have to realize that you are enough exactly as you are, without needing his attention to prove it. You are my pride just by existing, and you deserve a love that is certain, not a love that makes you feel like a burden. Stop playing the role of the relief worker in someone else's life, and start being the leading lady of your own. If a door remains closed, stop knocking. It's just a sign that it wasn't your house to begin with. You're doing so much better than you think you are, honey. Don't let one man's lack of effort define your worth. Your auntie loves you, and I'm always in your corner.